Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Johnny, and today we're going to be doing a breakdown of the new Pokemon Direct with all the new DLC that was announced for Pokemon Sword and Shield, and as well as some of the games that were announced. So the first thing that they announced was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, which is a pretty cool game that's going to be a remake of the original Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. I believe it was supposed to be like a remake or a reboot, something like that. Um, but either way, that was kind of one of the things they announced there. This was kind of expected. But the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC is what really got me hyped because they announced so much DLC and they literally gave us a lot of information on the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield. They didn't keep anything hidden. I don't know if it's because of the game not already being released, so why would they keep it hidden or stuff like that? So they didn't keep it hidden. So let's talk about the DLC. They started out talking about that they were gonna make two DLC, which was Crown Tundra and Island of something, which we'll look into the. I don't really remember the name, but we'll look into it. As you guys can see, new locations will be added to it. This is one of the gyms. They're just talking about the game. And for all the people that want to bring back National Dex, they're going to be returning 200 new Pokemon, 200 plus new Pokemon into Pokemon Sword and Shield with this DLC. So that means that if you get the DLC, you'll be able to get the 200 plus Pokemon. But don't worry, you'll also be able to update your game in order to get the DLC, the Pokemon as well in the update. You'll be able to transfer them from Pokemon Home into your game if you don't get the DLC. If you don't have to buy the purchase of the DLC. The point is that they're going to make an update which will allow 200 plus new Pokemon to appear in Pokemon Sword and Shield with DLC or without DLC. All right, so the expansion pass is going to cost $30. I believe it will give you two DLCs, and I would assume that these two DLCs would be for each of the games. So you have to pay for Shield's DLC, and if you want Pokemon Sword's DLC, you'll probably pay for that as well. All right, so let's get right into it, and let's start breaking this down slowly. So as you guys can see, it says expansion pass there. They're talking a little bit, they show the expansion pass and they're gonna add stuff to the map as well. So this DLC is not some kind of boring DLC. As you guys can see, we're getting like a sort of island design DLC right here. I would assume you'll be able to ride your bike around there as well. These are just sketches as well, and you guys can see that they have a bunch of planned stuff for the DLC. Blastoise, Mega, Gigantamax, Venusaur, Gigantamax, Rillaboom, Gigantamax, a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's continue on. The first thing that they announced was this this Pokemon Slowpoke, Galarian Slowpoke that has like a yellow tint on top of it. This will actually be released today within a update that's being made right now into the game. So this one will actually be available for you to encounter it. I don't remember which area they mentioned, but they mentioned that an area will be able to. Now, you guys, it seems that we're getting like new areas. This will be the first DLC. As you guys can see, they mention a dojo, and you can see some designs in the back what the dojo is. Kind of looks like a Pokemon gym. And the trainers there look like gym leaders as well, or equivalent to a gym leader. They mention about new designs on the clothing, new trainers. As you guys can see, those look like new gym leaders as well. New hairstyles, new clothing that you can get in the game, and stuff like that. So let's continue on to the DLC. They do mention something about the bike. So the bike is getting like an update. I don't know exactly what this update will be for the bike, but as you guys can see, he even has a dirt bike helmet. So the bike is getting an update as well. Stuff that you may have not noticed. Then they show Blastoise and Venusaur are definitely going to be coming back. So the starters are coming back, as you guys can see. They are making a comeback on the starters, as well as different stuff as well. And there's gonna be like new areas in the wild area. If you look, okay, so let's slow down. Let's watch a little bit of clip. Hopefully I don't get copyright. So as you guys can see, Venusaur's right there. His Gigantamax, Blastoise Gigantamax right there. Man, just looks really awesome. He has like more little areas where he shoots out his Blastoise or his attacks as well. And then they showed the starters as well, which are all getting their Gigantamax form as Rillaboom, as you guys can see right there. Cinderace is getting its Gigantamax form, and Teleon. That one looks pretty dope. All right, so let's slow down. Let's slow this down because I want to see the gameplay or little screenshots. Maybe we find something out of the ordinary. But we are getting a wild area like places. Okay, so as you guys can see, that's kind of like the new bike design, I would assume. You can go through a little cave and tunnels through water, which is pretty dope. We haven't seen some kind of design like that in Pokemon in a while, so that's pretty interesting. Alright, so let's see the gameplay. I need a pause when the gameplay starts. I know that I'm repeating myself way too much. Ah, the dojo. Okay, I only managed to go to the dojo. Let's slow it down. Come on. Slow. Alright, let's go back. Alright. Let's go. Come on. All right. So as you guys can see, the dojo, there's even a punching bag back there. There's really not much more interesting here, but it looks awesome. And where, as you guys can see, the trainer has like new clothes. As you guys can see, that little cave that I mentioned before. And I assume that there is a new wild area because they did mention that there will be like areas that are like the wild area. So it's going to be a pretty big expansion to it. And there's also that little place there. I don't know what exactly that little small island right here. As you guys can see there, it's probably another dojo. Kind of resembles a lot to the previous games in Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold. And as you guys can see, we're going to be able to go in the water because you guys can see over there we have like den locations where we can actually go to in the game. So that's pretty awesome. This DLC will definitely expand a lot upon this area. So this one is actually called the Island of Armors. The Isles of Armor. That will be the first one, and then the next one they talk about is the Crown Tundra. So look at that area. This is kind of the stuff that we saw like in the trailers. Where were they? Why were they missing? And there seems to be a cemetery there in that area as well. That is something I noticed. So yeah, that was something I noticed. And you're gonna be able to get your full gear, your mountain gear as as clothing as well. And they show a lot of Pokemon as well. I just saw an image they were showing. They were circling around like new Pokemon as well. So new legendaries, new trainers as well, new designs, your new clothing for this one. But the most thing that I was so hyped about is that they're bringing back Regice. All the Regis are coming back, and they're gonna have their little unique cave where you'll be able to capture them, which is really dope. Regirock, Regice, Registeel. They all have their own little unique areas. And then probably Gigas will be at some certain location as well. But they're also announcing new Regis. These are new Pokemon. This is literally a new Pokemon. The new Regis are literally going to be released, which is awesome. This is probably Reggie Electric or Reggie Thunder. I don't know. And this one looks like a Reggie Ghost or something. I don't or Reggie Psychic. I don't know. But it looks really different. But I think it's definitely gonna be related to the Regis. And then we see and then we see the pre-evolution of the Galarian Slowpoke, which is going to be released today. Believe it or not, there's going to be an update today that's going to allow you to capture him, and then he's gonna have his Galarian form evolution as well as Slowking, or Slowbro or Slowking Galarian version. All right, I don't know what that hat says. It has like I don't know if that's a new Pokemon or an old Pokemon. It might not even be a Pokemon at all. But the bag is really interesting. They're showing the models of older Pokemon as well. I think Pokemon that were removed. Oh, but this is the most coolest thing I believe in this trailer. Like they're literally going to be having a Galarian version of Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. As you guys can see, they look like Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, so they're gonna have their own Galarian versions. As you guys can see, the designs are really makes them look like different Pokemon. But hey, I'm assuming that this is their Galarian versions. And I'm pretty sure we might get the original ones as well. But they're getting like new versions of it. I don't think they're new legendaries, but they're versions of those Pokemons. So I'm really hyped up for that as well. As you guys may see, Zapdos as well. And you guys can see they're all related to that tree. And then we're seeing more environments. This is the train station, obviously. So we're going to be able to get there via train station. And more as well, wild area. This is some of the stuff that I think we saw in a trailer or something. And then the new Regis will get their own little location where you're able to get them as well. So it's super hype. They might have more legendaries as well. They said that you will be able to find like previous legendary Pokemons. I don't know if it will be either in a raid or in a dens, but you will be able to capture your previous legendary Pokemon in the game as well. So it's not like they're leaving out all the legendary Pokemon. They do mention later on the stream that they will be able to capture it. And then we get footage of the new Pokemon as well. As you guys can see, this is a new fighting type Pokemon that's going to be related to the dojo. They added a little CGI scene for him. And each version will get their own version, I would assume. But for some reason, they added a CGI footage of it. And we'll be able to get it. And they also announced a new legendary Pokemon as well, which is this one. It looks pretty weird, the design. Like, I don't know why. It just looks pretty weird. I forgot what his name was. Claydox or something like that. We'll see the name as we go ahead. So they were talking a little bit more about the DLC. $30 for the expansion pass for each respective game. One will release in June and the other one will release in fall. So I would assume somewhere around October, maybe September. I talk about your new mentor, Mustard, and stuff like that. And then your rival, Avery, a new rival, as you guys can see. The legendary Pokemon that holds the keys to the story. And there's a new Pokemon, Kofubu, as well. And the new Pokemon, I think they mention it a little bit later. The Kofubu, and let's see what their names are. Single Strike style fighting type. This is one of the ones that we saw. And a Rushfu. I think this was one of the ones that we saw, or were they their Gigantamax form? Okay, so it was their Gigantamax form, Urushifu. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but yeah, that was their Gigantamax form, single strike style. They have like their new stuff as well. Online competition, official competitions. They talk about that. All right, so then they show a little bit more about their Gigantamax forms. As you guys can see right there, they showed the Gigantamax form of the three starters, which is something that I was kind of weird. Why they didn't give them Gigantamax forms if they were our starters, but they're adding them now. We're getting new tutor moves as well as Apricons and Pokeballs and Experience Charm as well. Gain more XP for your team as well. Okay. We're getting new designs, the new bike as well, stuff like that. Probably for specific uses as well. Alright, so yeah. Crown Tundra, they show a little bit more gameplay footage. Okay, so the Pokemon is Calyrex, actually. Sorry about that, but yo, doesn't that look like a meme for some reason? It just looks kind of weird. I know they were inspired by something, but the design looks pretty funny. It's a Psychic type and Grass type Pokemon, so that's pretty interesting. And this is where they mentioned that you're going to be able to capture all your previous Pokemon. All your legends are returning, ladies and gentlemen. Latios is there. All of them are coming back, and they mentioned some kind of dens in the caves or something. You'll be able to capture them. So that's pretty interesting. I think they're going to have like their special area. Mewtwo, look at them. All of them are coming back. Kyogre, all of them are coming back. So that is awesome that they're going to be adding those legendary Pokemon back. New armor designs as well. And then they talk about Pokemon Home and then Colossal that you'll be able to get them in raids today. There's increased raids on them today. So yeah, that's pretty much covers it. But guys, I am really hyped about the new DLC. I think it's really a great step forward into the Pokemon Sword and Shield games. I think with these DLCs, these games are probably going to be the best Pokemon games that we had in a while. Honestly, I know Pokemon Sword and Shield felt kind of dull in some areas, but you know, DLC adding a lot more to it, I think is definitely fair enough. If they're adding like several different new stuff, and I think that's definitely a step in the right direction. this will definitely rank up Pokemon Sword and Shield in my list as one of the best Pokemon games when this DLC comes out. And I'm pretty sure I am gonna be really enjoyed with the DLC. So, the fact that we are getting some of our Pokemon back, I don't know if we're gonna get all of them back, but the majority are gonna be back. Even if we have a 650 or 670, I think I can live with that because we're getting the majority of the Pokemon are coming back. Most of the legends are returning. Almost everything is returning. I wouldn't be surprised if they make a third DLC at some certain point if they want to add the rest of the Pokemon and try to cash out a little bit more on that. So if they make a third DLC, it would make sense in the future. But otherwise, I'm pretty hyped up with this. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. And thanks for watching.